We're just gonna talk about M21.
Yep.
Okay.
Brian is okay. See, Pinball Witch was the only person who commented, and she said he sounds good, but I don't think he does. And
How about
you can't
now?
tell. Oh, damn it! See, you can't tell Brian to change things because then things get weird. I don't know. Try it.
Okay. How about now?
I don't know. I guess we'll see because that's all you said. Is the microphone picking that up? What the hell is that?
What is what?
What are you hearing?
I don't know if it's coming from outside or upstairs or what. It seems to have stopped though.
Outer space.
There it
Yeah,
is
none of us
again.
are lighting up.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
don't
thought it was the neighbors in their damn dryer because they have a dryer that's wobbly and sometimes it takes them like 5 minutes to stop it. It just and it sounded like that, but not quite. And okay. Yeah, I don't know. I give up. Said I don't. There it was again. What is that? I can't tell where it's coming from, and that bugs me. Like if I knew if it was upstairs or outside, I would get over it quickly because then I could at least narrow it down and be like, oh, it's those numbnuts, or oh, it's something outside. But as it is, it sounds like it's coming from every direction when I do hear it, and that's disconcerting.
That just means you're inside the washing machine.
I was once. It used to be the outro for my videos.
Oh yeah.
Are you
Ouch.
being serious?
Yeah, you see my head popping out of the washing machine and looking around, and then slowly dropping back down into it.
It's better than what was going on over here earlier when we just first started. Someone was out shooting, and apparently they put it on semi-automatic
Oh, goody.
because it was just not machine gun. Because it would have been faster if they did that, but it was.
Dirk lives in the best part of town.
If I live in the part where apparently it's a neighborhood, but outside of the neighborhood is rural.
I just learned today I grew up in a rural area, and that actually pissed me
How
off.
is this word coming up twice today?
I just thought it would be fun to have a revisit to the term.
Lord. All
Bring
right,
us back full circle.
let's do this. Rural. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is episode, according to the screen, 593 of the Mana Pool. I think I checked that before we started. I did. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm Chewy, and I woke up with a headache this morning that never went away. So, and it's starting to come. Like I managed to get it to ease up some while we were doing the pre-show nonsense, but then that took so long, it's coming back. So, like, apologies if I'm slightly lower energy than usual. Hey, other dorks, who are you people?
I'm Brian. I'm the lead Rambler Tangent Master of the group, and I will make up for your energy for like 15 minutes. I don't know. Feeling like a second wind here. I love, previews. And even with everything else going on, still love me some magic cards. So,
Hey,
I'm just shaking my head.
Pinball Witch threw 5 bits, then 9 bits, then 300 bits.
Oh man, I just keep getting emotes. This is awesome.
Dang it, man. Oh, you got
Got
the
a
dragon? Lame. Okay, who's next?
that'd be
Yes. I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy, and I just keep getting all these fancy emotes today, and it is fabulous. I'm loving it.
fabulous is the proper term, too, because they're pride emotes on Twitch. Yay!
Yay.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I did not mess up this time.
That's true. He was here first. He was here before I was.
It's just one of those times you just go, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did that. And so you always have that overcompensation that happens afterwards. I definitely wasn't going to fall in that trap again.
It was more just that we were worried about you, not like upset.
I understand. I appreciate the concern, but it's just one of those like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that.
Hey.
Yeah, I sent Dirk a text message this earlier this afternoon. It was like, "This is your reminder that today is Thursday."
my response was, "Yeah, I set an alarm for myself, so just in case too."
Oh Lord! All right, so last week we talked about some other stuff, and then we touched on Magic 21 for a bit, or Core Set 21 rather. And this week we're gonna do that again without all the previous stuff. Although, is there anything else to talk about? Like, Jumpstart's being previewed right now, but we'll deal with that next week probably.
There was the adjustment to the commander rules that was in play, that was announced last week.
Yeah, I knew there was something else.
Yeah. So this is something that people who listen to the show will be interested in. There was a small adjustment to the rules about what happens when a commander changes zones. So before, it was just a replacement effect where, if it was going to go to the hand, library, graveyard, or exile, you could decide to put it in the command zone instead. Now, it's the same thing for going to the library or the hand. If it's going to go there, you can say nah and put it into the command zone instead. But for the graveyard and exile, it actually goes there first, and then you make the decision about whether to leave it there or move it to the command zone. And the timing for that is basically, you make the decision right before the next time someone has the opportunity to take another action. Basically, it's done when state-based actions are checked. And that allows for you to get dice triggers and exile triggers from your commander, leaving the battlefield and going to one of those zones. But you don't have to leave it either stranded in exile or sitting in the graveyard, have to dig out with some other effect later. You can still send it to the command zone. So it's a neat little tweak that gives some legendary creatures, even more play in Commander. And I believe it was motivated by a member of the, what's the name of it? So
the CAG?
Yeah, the CAG,
whatever that stands for.
The Commander Advisory Group. Basically community members who are also involved in the format as a separate group from the rules committee. One of them had what they thought was a really awesome Elenda the Dusk Rose deck and wasn't aware that, if you wanted to send it to the command zone, you couldn't let it actually go to the graveyard and get the dice trigger. And it turned out that there were multiple members of that group who thought it worked the way that person thought it worked. So the rules committee was like, is it possible to come up with a way to make it work this way? And they did. They found one that was that worked. It's relatively clean in the technical detailed rules that they have for it. And yeah, so
wait, this really came about because someone on the inside wanted to make their deck work?
Well, they thought it worked.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a positive change for everybody, then I'm not going to.
And it is, because it lets you play with your cards. Yeah,
it is, but it's just kind of funny how it happened. If that's the case.
Yeah.
So, that's feels, I don't know. feels like an interesting origin story.
Mhm.
I guess as a lawyer, the whole conflict of interest thing is like flashing over my head over and over and over again. I'm reminded of the story where Mark Rosewater was playtesting a card from an upcoming set, and they hadn't actually printed out the cards yet. They were using the proxies, and he put down a creature, and the other guy's like, "Okay, but da da da," and Mark took out his pen and wrote something down on the creature that made it so that it would survive. And he's like, "When did that happen?" He's like, "Just now. I just changed it." So I'm just kind of like, huh. So look again, not complaining, not complaining. If it's positive for everybody, great. But it's kind of a weird origin story, yo.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I
Yeah.
got.
If it, it lets people get more functionality out of their cards, I think that's positive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Gee, Brian, why you gotta be a hater? Damn.
Mm,
Look at him over there, hating.
that's me, Brian. Middle name, Hayton Baker. You have no idea how hard it is to get a passport. So
Ow, that hurt my head.
okay.
Uh,
So that's
all
the
right.
thing.
So
So
that's good. Yeah, we missed that last week. Our bad. And we almost missed it this week.
Yes,
good job, Mike.
Our bad.
you're welcome.
Okay, so let's get to it here.
Yeah.
So what okay, I think we should talk about the shrines because that makes Dirk happy.
Yeah.
Shrines.
Dude, I saw these and I was like, "Oh, Dirk is gonna be so happy."
I have actually not read any of the shrines. I'm just aware that they exist. Ah, there it is. Okay, so the first one is in white. These are all uncommon except for the last one, but we'll get to that. This is Sanctum of Tranquil Light. Okay, for a single white, it's a legendary enchantment shrine. For 5 and a white, tap target creature. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each shrine you control. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So, the shrines for the uninitiated are, and if you haven't seen them before, a cycle of legendary enchantments from Kamigawa, specifically Champions of Kamigawa. It's the last time they made any. And they all have some ability that scales up as you have more shrines on the board. For example, I'm pretty sure the white one, gains you life for each shrine you have on the board,
Yeah,
right?
2 life.
2 life for each shrine that you have on the board. The blue one, the Hundred of Seeing Winds, that is in every single one of Dirk's decks that has blue or splashes blue or one time thought it might have been blue, costs 5. I know this off the top of my head, and draws you a card at the beginning of your upkeep for each shrine you control. The limitation is, again, these are legendary. So unless you're doing something silly like is it Hall of Mirrors or Mirror Gallery, you're only gonna get up to 5 stacks of these. So having more of these for someone like Dirk, when you're gonna play with some combination of the old ones and the new ones, as long as these new ones are even halfway decent, that's great. Am I right? I mean, I don't want to take away
Mhm.
Dark Thunder. What was your reaction when you saw they made more shrines?
I thought I laughed. That was my response.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about it. I was happy to see that.
Hmm. I mean, I'm excited too, but I laughed.
Because that means with this uncommon cycle and the rare one, the numbers on all those old cards just went up by 6. And you're like,
Exactly.
ooh.
Exactly.
So
Heck,
hey,
even in like let's say 2-color decks, you're still basically you're doubling. You're essentially doubling the number of shrines that are available to you. In Commander and in other formats, because even if you're confined to a single, like 2 or 3 colors, you're getting that many again. So,
hey Dirk, read the blue one.
Scroll.
Are they all called Sanctum?
I think, yes.
Sanctum
that'll
of
make
Calm
sense.
Waters for 3 and a blue. It's legendary shrine, enchantment shrine, uncommon. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may draw X cards, where X is the number of shrines you control. If you do, discard a card.
Oh, that's a bummer. You only draw 6 cards and you got to discard one? Lame.
Now this has all the magic words on it.
They said that they were coming up with new abilities for these shrines, but they came back to hint, draw cards, and in another color, direct damage, because they were just better than a lot of the other options. So here, at least, it's not the same as Haunted of Seeing Winds, but still pretty good. I really like the black one, though. This is the Sanctum of Stone Fangs for 1 and a black, legendary shrine, all that good stuff. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. And it costs 2 mana.
Wow. That could just
Yeah.
slot right into my Karavec deck and I wouldn't even notice.
I mean, this goes in every black deck that you could think of if you want that incremental value. Now, unlike, say, what's the black enchantment that does that ping? It doesn't gain you life equal to the life lost, so it doesn't go up for the number of opponents. You're still just gaining X, but you're still knocking everybody else down. So that's pretty good. And heck, even if you're confined to, say, Brawl, the white one into this one for 3 mana, you've got each of those at 2 shrines. That's pretty good. So I like that. I think that one's one to watch out for. What the black one before was what, like discards?
Just someone discards a card. Yeah.
Someone, yeah.
Do these all have haiku as the flavor
They
Yeah,
text?
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Renounce all limits. False chains, binding potential. Power knows no bounds.
Did Brian get quiet again for you guys too, or is it just me?
Slightly. Probably wouldn't
I
have
was
noticed.
coughing, so I didn't notice.
So what's the red one?
So, Chad just pointed out that these are probably still Kamigawa shrines. Because, look at
They
it.
have the spirit gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the
Well,
Oriental
In
top.
in his article talking about these on Monday, Mark Rosewater said that one of the most common things he hears is, let's go back to Kamigawa. And he basically said, don't expect it anytime soon, but we can glimpse Kamigawa, especially with stuff like this in core sets. So yes, these are set on Kamigawa.
Neat.
I can live with that.
So Mike, you like discarding lands for direct damage. It's kind of a thing that you do.
I do. So the Sanctum of Shattered Heights for 2 and a red. It's a legendary enchantment, uncommon shrine. Pay 1, discard a land card or shrine card. Sanctum of Shattered Heights deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is the number of shrines you control.
So on the one hand, compare it to the original red shrine, which costs 3. Beginning of your upkeep deals X damage to any target, I believe. Or X is...
Sounds right. I'll check Gatherer, but that sounds right.
So comparatively, this one, you're having to pay mana and discard a specific type of card or 2 specific types of cards to get to. And you can't hit players. But no matter how big your original shrine was, it's only triggering at the beginning of your upkeep. This, you can machine gun. And that's kind of nuts.
Yes, Honden of Infinite Rage was any target.
Right. So, Sanctum of Shattered Heights won't kill the opponent, but again, if you're dealing any significant amount of damage here, you've probably got another shrine out, so you're probably doing this and something else. So, and you're nuking their creatures.
Right. And the ability to dump extra shrines is great.
Right.
Because then you
Yeah.
can load up on multiple copies in your deck to make sure you'll draw them in. in time, and they won't be wasted once you get the first one out there.
And discarding lands for when you just don't have other shrines you need to ditch. Maybe you're playing commander. All sorts of ways to use this. And later in the game, when you don't need to be drawing lands, you're turning them into burn spells. That's pretty awesome. I don't think it's ridiculously good, but I think this one does a lot of work.
Son?
Yeah.
Do work, son. All right. Well, what's the green one then, Dirk?
Scroll. All right. Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. For 2 and a green, it says, at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of shrines you control.
Ooh.
I like that a lot, too.
Of course you do.
Yep. It's like
Hey, look, Scavenging Ooze. Oh, wait, no.
It's like a harder to get rid of, ramp creature. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, 2 spiders. Hey, look, Thrashing Bronto-Dave. Hey.
So,
and Mr. Truffle Snout.
I was gonna say there's something we didn't talk about last week, but before we get to that, there's one
shrine left.
Yeah.
The Sanctum of All costs a Wooburg. That's one of each color. It's rare. Okay, what does it say? Hang on, let me... Oh, broke my knee. Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library and or graveyard for a shrine card and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it.
You do not have to reshuffle your graveyard. Nice.
Nailed it.
Broken.
All right, and then if an ability of another shrine you control triggers while you control 6 or more shrines... Okay, hang on, let me parse that. If an ability... Okay, so if another of your shrines happens while you've got 6, got it. That ability triggers an additional time.
Yeah. Doesn't say once a turn, anything like that. So just have out 6 shrines, including this one, which of course this one is also letting you fetch them all the time. And looking at the red one, you can pay.
Well, no. This
what?
says triggers.
Oh, triggered. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so look at the green one. You're gonna get how much mana, Mike? You got 6.
At least 12.
12. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems pretty okay.
Doesn't work with the red one. The black one seems even more ridiculous.
Yes.
All right, hit you all for 12. I'll gain 12.
Why are y'all looking at me?
What? I didn't do it. It's just, it's just written on the card.
Yeah. I like it. It's fun. It's going to paint a giant target on your face, but it's fun.
Speed the game along.
Accurate.
And no, this cannot be your commander.
Yet.
Oh, wait, we'll see the next commander/brawl variant where you can have any legendary permanent as your commander. So, last week, there was one mythic that we did not talk about, at least one that we didn't talk about. And it's kind of funny because they reprinted Baneslayer Angel. And for 5 mana, it's overstatted and does all that crazy stuff. And we talked about how it was replaced after 1 year of dominating Standard by the Titans, which were 6/6s for 6 mana that had ridiculous abilities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you seen in green Elder Garrod? Mike, how do you pronounce that? Elder
Gargaroth.
Mike, what is Elder that thing? What's
Gargaroth.
it do? Yeah.
Elder Gargaroth says target Baneslayer Angel is stupid. Elder Gargaroth for 3 green is a 6/6 mythic beast with vigilance, reach, and trample. And whenever Elder Gargaroth attacks or blocks, choose one. you either create a 3/3 green beast creature token,
Ooh.
or gain 3 life, or draw a card.
Ooh.
So I'm not saying the Baneslayer Angel is pointless. It's not. It's not even close. But this costs the same. And it's green, so green creatures, scale up. But what is even happening here? I'm not is this going to be a chase mythic? Is it too expensive at 5? I don't think it is. This is utterly ridiculous. This is a 6/6 for 5 with vigilance, reach, and trample, and draws you a card every time it attacks, and or floods the board, and or gets you 3 life if you're in a race. Well, not and or, it's all or, but whatever. This feels dumb.
It's pretty good. Oh yeah, hey look, there's a cat lord.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rare.
The Feline Sovereign for 2 and a green is a rare cat who's a 2/3. It says other cats you control get +1/+1 and have protection from dogs. Ha! And also, whenever 1 or more cats you control deal combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Because the cat jumped up on the mantle and knocked crap off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cat one time that I swear she thought she was a physicist because she's like, let's see what happens when I shove this off the counter. It wasn't even an accident. She was like, poke, 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 poke.
Watch gravity.
What just happened? Okay, next one. Poke, poke. The flavor text for this is perfect.
Yeah. Dogs beg, cats lay claim. I like it.
If we're on awesome cat flavored cards, have you guys seen 9 Lives?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So, in white, 9 lives for 1 and a white, 1 and a white and a white. It's a rare enchantment. It has hexproof. So, it's kind of like the Helix Pinnacle or whatever, where it's supposed to just sit there, nobody messes with it, just leave it alone. If a source would deal damage to you, no matter how much damage, prevent that damage and put an incarnation counter on 9 lives. When there are 9 or more incarnation counters on 9 lives, exile it. When 9 lives leaves the battlefield, you lose the game.
Yeah, that last bit is important.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see it until somebody in the Discord server said, oh, so wait, you could get a bunch of counters on it and then blink it, and then someone else goes, it says leaves the battlefield. God damn it. And I went, whoops. I didn't see that either. Also, Pinball Witch threw 300 more bits. Random reminder how cute Truffle Snout is. Oh my god, Mr. Truffle Snout. And also to unlock more emotes and to give Chewie more money. Yay! Thank you. Mike got another one. How come the guy that's never on Twitch is getting all the Twitch emotes?
It's trying to encourage me to come back to Twitch more often.
That's probably it. But yeah, so back to 9 Lives. 9 Lives is really, like, flavorful and neat. I just don't care.
But you could be at 20 life, and if I poke you for 1 9 times, then you die?
Yeah, which is why you don't play it when you're at 20 life.
Mike, I attack you with 3 creatures.
Yes.
You block 1 of them. Neither of the unblocked creatures is a fog bank. How many counters go on 9 lives?
It's 2, because I was dealt damage by 2 sources.
There we go. Want to make sure it's clear. It
prevented damage from 2 sources, rather.
Right. So.
Yeah. It's very neat, and the art is amazing because each of these 9 other kitties or 8 other kitties in the background are actual previous Magic cards.
Yeah.
And he's released a version without the cat in the middle, so you could, You could shop your own cat in there to look all awesome. Feel free to send me a picture of one of your cats looking all regal, Brian, and I'll do that for you.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you wait until you need it to play it. You know, if you're at 5, 6, 7 life, if you get damaged 3 more times, you're going to lose. So getting 6 chances on top of that, it's got to be at least a little helpful.
seems pretty good. Yeah.
I'm trying to do a search for a way to find things that remove counters, and I need to go ahead and put in there not suspend, because so many of these.
Yeah. Our old buddy Power Conduit comes into play here.
That's what I was trying to remember if Power Conduit would work for this or not, or if it just dealt with like charge counters. But it's any kind of counter.
Yeah, I don't think Power Conduit targets the thing you're taking one off of. Let's check.
Well, you have hex. It has hexproof. You can still
Oh,
target it with
hexproof,
your own
not
effect.
shroud. Yeah, you're
Not
right.
Shroud.
Yeah.
I think earlier I
Target.
said Helix Pinnacle, which does have shroud, right? So or does
think
it have
so.
hexproof?
Mhm.
Okay. So
So hey, Dirk, did you see anything that jumped out at you?
The only ones I really looked at were the shrines. Well, I'll have a look through and come back to you.
well, hey, what did you guys think about? I saw this guy scroll in the cycle of legendary creatures from Teferi's home. What's it called? From Mirage. Karavek the Spiteful.
Oh.
Is in black.
That's not the one I thought you were going to.
Well, we already covered Mangara, and we already covered a couple others. But Karavek is here. Chew, have you seen this?
Yeah, he's all right. Karavek the Spiteful for 2 black is a legendary human warlock who's rare. He's a 3/2. Other creatures get -1/-1. Sure.
Yeah.
So him and a Sid and Evan card together would just be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, because if you're playing black, because Ascendant Evankar is your black creatures or just black creature? I forget how he works.
Black creatures get +1/+1. Non-black creatures get -1/-1.
Ah,
That's a
okay.
card.
And then if you have the Black Praetor, or is it the
The Black Praetor is the
is
one
the black
that,
one or is it the white
that-
one?
That's the white
resurrect
one.
things.
Elish
The
Norn
white
is the one
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Your stuff gets +2/+2. Everybody else's gets -2/-2. Yeah.
And then you just look at everybody and go, "Yeah, come at me."
They
Play a
can't.
creature,
All
I
their
dare
stuff
you.
is
I
dead.
dare you. Yeah, he's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to really like playing Knight of Souls Betrayal, and this is a Knight of Souls Betrayal that can run around and hit people.
Okay.
In the face.
Oh, speaking of hitting people in the face, Sublime Epiphany is trippy.
What
Mike,
color
did you
is
see
that?
this? It's in blue. Mike, did you see this card?
Yes.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Glad it costs
6?
6. So for 4 blue, it's a rare instant. Choose one or more, and there are 5 different choices. Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, target player draws a card.
Just do all the things.
Yeah.
Just do them all.
It's very rare that you'll get into an opportunity where you're able to do all 5 at once. But hey, isn't 3 or 4 enough?
I mean,
Really?
you can always just about do return target non-land permanent and draw a card.
Yeah.
Always. Even if, but for the first 2, I was struggling with how you might do both of the first two at the same time, and then I thought, storm. Does that shut down storm? If they are like, all right,
It does. It stops the
got
storm
you.
trigger.
Yeah. And you counter the original spell and the storm spell. So if they're like storm counters at 7, play Dragon Storm, where you don't even really want them to get one of it, let alone 7. You can counter the original and counter the storm.
Yeah, and it stops Cascade. Counters
Ooh.
the spell, counters the triggered ability.
Ooh.
It stops Ripple. So people play with Ripple cards.
Sure. Let's say yes, just because.
It stops the Eldrazi that have an on-cast trigger.
Ooh. Like, Emrakul.
Yeah, and there's some
Yeah.
smaller ones too from Battle for Zendikar block, I believe.
Yep. I mean, all the Titans were terrifying, but yeah. Or anything that says whenever you it stops, it shuts down prowess. You counter whatever the sorcerer instant or sorcerer is, and the prowess trigger, right?
Yes, you can.
And draw a card.
Not as flashy as Storm, but I kind of started with the big one. So, it costs 6. So when they play their 6th land and they're like, go, you're probably gonna know what's up. But there was another blue one. There was a mythic blue instant that I thought was trippy.
Discontinuity?
Sounds about right. Yes, discontinuity.
Yeah, for 3 and 3 blue, it's an instant that says end the turn. But it also says, as long as it's your turn, this spell costs 2 blue less to cast.
So
meaning it
one
costs 1 in a blue.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I want to end the turn on my turn with an instant rather than just saying my turn is over?
You're in the middle of eating something and you don't want to be rude.
Oh my god.
I was looking for a real answer, but that one was even better. So Mike, what is the real reason I might want to do that?
The real reason you might want to do this is to either skip a step or phase that you'd rather not have happen for whatever reason. Maybe because there's some ability that you don't want triggering, or you're about to be forced into an attack that you don't want to make, or to clear any trigger abilities that are currently on the stack.
Trigger abilities.
That's part of what happens when you end the turn.
Triggered abilities or spells, correct?
Yes, or spells. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you can bounce your own 9 lives and then discontinuity to not lose.
Yes.
That's true.
Of course, then you don't have 9 lives out to keep you alive.
Also true. You make an attack with 3 things, and your opponent goes, finally, I've been holding all these removal spells. Block here, and kill your guy, and you're like, oh, I guess my turn is over. And combat doesn't resolve. Your spell that's on the stack doesn't resolve. They're just gone. Maybe your stuff is still tapped, but it prevents you from, making horrible trades and stuff, and they have lost whatever combat tricks they had.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget that for 6 mana, you can still end their turn during their, upkeep, or, in the middle of their attack after they've tapped all their stuff. So, yeah.
I guess while we're here, let's talk about Baron, huh?
Yeah, I don't find him to be super exciting, but he is a card that exists.
That's a card that exists.
So Baron, Tolarian Archmage. 1 blue is a rare legendary human wizard, a 2/2. When Baron enters the battlefield, return up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. And at the beginning of your at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's a weird card. Right? Like that's
Yeah.
just weird.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just pure value, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually pretty good. It's just it's extremely straightforward. What should you do with them? You should bounce something, and then if you find more ways to bounce things, then you draw cards. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, with all of my decks, 60 card and commander alike, that love playing the bounce lands from original Ravnica block, that's a nice little bonus there.
That's
Holy
true.
crap.
The Karoo lands from Ravnica.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't think about that. That's true. I mean, who doesn't love drawing cards? Again, I'm not saying it's a bad card. I'm just not like it doesn't have my Johnny senses a tingling, but
You got to work to really get it going.
Also, the art on Capture Sphere is amazing.
isn't that the original art? Is that not?
They have used this. Yeah, it does look familiar.
I have no idea. I just know that I've been staring at it for a while, and I've just zoomed way in for the chat.
I feel like that's the original art, but I'm not going to go check.
Got a question from chat. If I have Baron and then someone casts an overloaded Cyclonic Rift, basically the question is, does anything happen? No, because Baron has to be on the battlefield at the beginning of your end step in order to trigger. It's not a delayed trigger that's set up when something gets returned to your hand. It's a trigger that happens at the beginning of your end step and then just checks to see if anything got returned to your hand. So if he's not on the battlefield at the right time, it's not going to trigger. You won't get any cards.
Yeah.
Compare that to like a card that says whenever something gets returned to your hand from the battlefield, draw a card.
Mhm.
That is responding right then and there. So last week, we were shutting down, and everybody kind of talked about one or two last cards, and a card that had been on the tip of my tongue for a while was Stormwing Entity. But I am like the worst guy for like, one more. So I made a conscious decision to not talk about it last week. So, but I think this is really interesting. So, Stormwing Entity for 3 and 2 blue. It is a 3/3 elemental with flying, so a slightly smaller wind elemental. However, it has prowess, so it can get bigger, and this spell costs 2 and a blue less to cast if you've cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. And when he enters the battlefield, scry 2. It's a lot of stuff on something that might cost 1 and a blue.
Mhm.
Now, of course, unlike, say, what's the one we were just talking about? Just continuity. This will never cost just 1 and a blue because you've also got to cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. Phyrexian mana aside, generally you're going to, at the very least, cast Op for a blue. So this is costing 3 instead of 5. And that's still really, really good.
Yeah.
Because you're still getting the effect of whatever you cast.
I like the caveat of obvious design mistakes in the past aside.
Yeah. Pitch spells, anything like that. So heck, even if I'm paying 2, let's say I'm casting something for 2 and a blue, maybe to draw some cards or whatever, and then I'm paying 1 and a blue for this, so I'm effectively costing the same thing. I'm still getting the effect of the instant sorcery, and I'm getting a 3/3 with flying and prowess and scry 2 when it comes in. This is a great creature to have out. It can be a very fast creature to get out in the right deck, and this is an awesome creature to have out with the new Thassa that blinks a creature every turn, because scry 2 is a lot. Like, The difference between Scry 1 and Scry 2 is, well,
It's
one,
double.
it's double, but it's a lot. So I've
So-
gone on enough about this, but
Yeah,
I
you
think
have.
I've gone on, but this one's got my eye. So I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up competitively. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, because even just thinking about, Lightning Bolt Stormwing entity, that's a pretty serious 1-2 punch right there.
It's true.
Ooh, I like it.
All right.
Okay,
So,
next.
Chat brought up Demonic Embrace.
That's a neat one.
So let's look at this. For 1 black, it's a rare aura that says enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+1, has flying, and is a demon, in addition to its other types. You may cast Demonic Embrace from your graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. Well, that's not so bad.
That's really good. I like that.
And unlike some mistakes of the past, you still have to pay its other costs, namely 1 a black and a black.
Yes, you do.
So, yeah. Demonic possession that benefits you, done in a flavorful way. I think I'm going to need a young priest and an old priest. And if you get that joke, I'm sorry. But, I mean, neat. For 3 mana, +3/+1, so super unholy strength and flying. And, slight demonic tribal probably just matters from a flavor perspective, but kind of cool.
I mean, plus, once one of your demons casts, then it silences all your other demons for a few seconds, and your demon gets a buff based on the number of demons. I lapsed into Dota Underlords again, didn't I? I'm sorry.
I thought, was that Hearthstone? I wasn't sure what we were doing.
My bad. No, that was Underlords. Actually streamed Underlords again last night for the first time in a couple weeks, and I still love that game.
But I mean, this could be +3/+0.
And it would still be awesome, yeah.
It's awesome because +3 attack in the air. And then they're like, okay, fine, I'll trade with it. And you're like, great. It's on something else now.
Do it again. Also, Eliminate seems like a nice all-purpose little spell.
Eliminate. Starts with an E.
It does, yeah.
For 1 and a black, instant, uncommon, destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. Tibble. Cruelty? No. This is necessity. Must kill all the Tibbles. Yes, sir. A lot of good planeswalkers cost 3.
It's true.
So, and, there's a lot of good creatures that cost 3 or less as well. So.
Oh, we should talk about Hooded Blightfang. Hey, Mike.
This is also really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really neat design. Hooded Blightfang. For 2 and a black, it's a rare 1/4 snake with Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker.
So we got 2 things going on. First is it's basically a Death Touch Lord, without the all Death Touch creatures get +1/+1 or whatever, but it's a Lord. And the second half is the Vraska from War of the Spark, and kind of like that. I was wondering if we were going to see that effect anywhere else, and so kind of neat design space here to be like, oh, it's not just snakes, or it's not based on the creature type, it's based on the ability. And we've seen a little bit of that with, like, say creatures with flying is the most obvious example of all creatures with flying get whatever. But Death Touch hasn't historically had a whole lot of this, so it's kind of neat to see it here. I like it.
Yeah.
Dude, combo this with Vraska, because I think Vraska says whenever a creature with Death Touch hits a player, it gets a +1/+1 counter. So the two of those, this guy and her together, that's really good. I like that.
I think it's neat.
Um,
Dirk, you alive?
Actually, I
Okay.
was looking at a card and kept looking at it and looking at it and looking at it until I finally think I figured it out.
Oh, which one?
Goblin Wizardry
Ah,
in red.
Goblin Wizardry. Is it
that's
a
a good
rare?
one.
Is it a rare? A red rare?
It's a common.
It's a common, and you were having to figure it out. Okay.
Well, no, the art is what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh. Okay.
Because I'm looking and going, where is his head? And then I found his head, and I'm like, what is he doing? And I realized he's got a stick in his hand because I thought he was lighting a fart, and that's where the
That's
fireball.
what I thought at first.
That's what I thought.
Like he's doing some sort of Krav Maga move or something. Like he's like shooting between his legs sort of thing, but why he has to shoot between his legs, I don't know. But anyway, the spell is for 3 and a red. It's a common instant. Create 2 1/1 red goblin wizard creature tokens with prowess.
I saw in the article where they gave us the tokens, the goblins with prowess, and I thought, that's weird. I hadn't seen this before. So
The flavor text says, quiet in the library soon gave way to larger concerns.
put the library out. Put it out.
Lord. There's another goblin in here that.
Oh, the Brash Taunter.
No, but what's that?
So the Brash Taunter is a rare goblin that costs 4 and a red for a 1/1 indestructible. Whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent. And you can pay 2 and a red and tap. Brash Taunter fights another target creature.
It's like the stuffy doll.
Yeah. It's like the... It's, you don't have to go through all the trouble of building the ideal Mog Maniac anymore. It's just all here in the nice
Yeah.
little package.
It's just, here you go. You hit like a kobold.
Man, that is harsh too.
Chewie, were you thinking of the conspicuous Snoop?
That's the one. Yeah, there he is. Look at him. Hey, what are you doing in there? So for red, he's a 2/2 rare goblin rogue. You play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast goblin spells from the top of your library. And as long as the top card of your library is a goblin card, Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. Damn, he is snooping.
I'm gonna have to figure out what goblins in Magic's history have good activated abilities.
Yeah,
Mine
I thought...
is using something like conspiracy to make everything a goblin. Because, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think I thought Kiki Jiki about the same time that it popped up in chat.
So wait a minute. Oh my god, Brash Taunter does say indestructible.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that either, Magnus. I completely missed that. I'm like, what? No, he doesn't. Oh. Oh.
So, I'm going to talk about a card that might seem a little weird because it's not as flashy as some of the others. But why this one has caught my attention, I'll get to in just a second. The Hellkite Punisher for 5 and 2 red, 7 mana. It is a 6/6 dragon. It is uncommon. It has flying, and it has old-fashioned fire breathing. Pay a red, gets +1/+1 until in a turn. I mean, 7 mana, 6/6 flyer with fire breathing, straightforward as it comes. It's probably at uncommon because it can close out the game. Right? You're like, why is Brian talking about this before other rares? Because some reason I'm reading the flavor text and it just got me. It just was like, yes, we'll pay no more tribute to that tyrannical lizard. A new age starts today. Mayor Kadrim, now deceased. And it just, I don't know. Plus the art, for an uncommon, the art is just freaking gorgeous. Just
Mm-hmm.
look at that majestic lizard. Let's give him tribute. So, not the most gigantastic card, but it made me laugh. I appreciate the little stuff.
Red cards do that an awful lot.
Yeah.
Well, if you like
I
that one, Volcanic Salvo is a good one too.
am
What's
being
that?
summoned to let the dogs out. So I will, in fact, be the one that lets the dogs out. So,
Okay.
That's
be
good to know.
yeah.
So
People
Volcanic
been
Salvo,
asking.
Volcanic Salvo for 10 and 2 red. So for a grand total of 12 mana. It's a rare sorcery. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control.
Ooh.
Volcanic Salvo does 6 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers.
Well, that's neat.
Mhm. And the flavor text says, seeing it coming a mile away is little comfort if you can't get out of range in time.
That's also neat.
And it
Oh,
looks
I
like
just-
there's a god or something in the background.
I just saw that big terrifying
Uh,
demon in the background.
Yeah. That is kind of awful.
Looks like the demon from the cover of that Dio album, Holy Diver.
Well, you see, it looks like he's got one in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I hadn't even noticed him in the background until right as you said it.
Yeah, same.
Man. Also, if you look directly above him, look, it's one of our preview cards that we got like 2 years ago and haven't gotten since, but don't really care anymore. But yay, Turret Ogre. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to black. Seems like there was something in black I was gonna mention and then didn't. We talked about Vito last week. Yeah, because somebody made the My Cousin Vito joke, and of course they did. I just love Skeleton Archer. That's a reprint, right?
I think so. The art looks very familiar.
Yeah, but it's a Skeleton Archer, and its type line is creature. It's Skeleton Archer. Oh, the Silver Smoke Ghoul. That's what I wanted to talk about. Because, mainly for the type line. So, for 2 and a black, the Silver Smoke Ghoul is a 3/1, it's uncommon, and it says, at the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, return Silver Smoke Ghoul from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, and you can pay 1 and a black to sacrifice it to draw a card. Which is all, actually neat, but it's a zombie vampire. What?
Huh. I didn't notice that at first.
Like, yeah, someone, I think it was in the Discord server or on Twitter or something, was like, is this the first zombie vampire? And I went, what?
Being trapped between 2 forms of unlife is a fate worse than mere death.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
It looks like he has like a rapier or a sword broken off in his neck, like
Yeah,
where his
or-
clavicle is.
Piece of a cross or
I
something?
think
I don't know.
so. I don't know. It's got something going on.
Yeah, something
It's
right
probably
there.
where he got smoked by the silver.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. And like I said, the ability's cool. Like, if you're gonna gain some life, then you can sacrifice it to draw a card before it'll come back. Hey! I just like him.
Oh, yeah.
He's fascinating on multiple levels. Oh, did you guys see Pestilent Haze?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I figured you would. What's it do?
So it does some really useful things. So Pestilent Haze, For 1 black. It's an uncommon sorcery. Choose one. So the first mode, all creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. So that's just straight up infest, which is always useful. Second mode, remove 2 loyalty counters from each planeswalker.
That's a good ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I like it. What the hell? Did we talk about?
Necromentia has way too many words on it.
I was just about to say, did we talk about Necromentia? I don't
Yeah.
think we
It's
did.
another one of those lobotomy cards that gives your opponent something back if you strip cards out of their hand. So it's a rare sorcery for 1 black. Choose a card name other than a basic land card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. The player shuffles their library, then creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token for each card exiled from their hand this way.
Yeah, so you can rip out 4 copies, but if they only had 1 in their hand, they only get 1 zombie.
Yes.
But if they had all 4 in their hand, you just gave them 4 zombies. Because it doesn't say search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards. You may exile them. No.
Well, whenever you're searching a hidden zone, for something with a specific quality, you're not required to find it even if it's there, because there's always the possibility that you just missed it, and there's no way for someone outside to verify whether you got it, since it's a hidden zone. But that just means, you name that card for a reason, so you probably don't want them to have it. But if you'd really, really rather not give them a zombie, then no, you're not required to strip a copy out of their hand.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's counterintuitive as hell.
Yeah.
Because it's the exact opposite of what the card says.
I know. But you're searching a hidden zone, and hands are hidden zones.
You're a hidden zone.
Yeah.
Sorry for burning down your village. Here's some gold.
That's part of the reason why guided passage works the way it does. Like, you reveal the entire library. Otherwise, your opponent could just, if your opponent was just told to search your library for that stuff, they could just thumb through it and be like, "No, I didn't find any. Sorry."
Oh.
Plus,
Ow. Wait, I got another one. Ow. Whew. Remember that headache I've had since I woke up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
there.
God. I think my head just exploded. Whew. Okay. What else we got? There's something big and scary. Oh, my God. There's something big and scary in red that I wanted to mention, but now my brain has fallen apart. Oh.
Let's look. Was it the incinerator?
I don't know.
it's the incinerator.
Look, I've got it on screen. I just happened to stop scrolling to grab my head right at Chandra's incinerator. Okay. Yeah, what? Somebody tell me what that does, because I can't read the small text because my head exploded.
So the Chandra's Incinerator for 5 in red. It's a 6/6 elemental that's rare. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage dealt to your opponents this turn. It has trample. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls.
So this is the card that was brought up in chat earlier. You can turn 1 in Modern, suspend a Rift Bolt, and then turn 2 cast Lava Spike, so that your opponent has taken 6, and then blam, drop a 6/6.
Yes.
Well, your opponent's taken 6, but in theory you played a land, so this costs 1 for a 6/6 with trample that fries things because it's an incinerator.
Yeah.
What happened to the moon?
It got incinerated.
Apparently.
It got
That's actually a
burned.
good question. What happened to the moon?
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, I think the moon is a whole circle. It's just got crap in the way.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
can't tell.
Looks kind of messed up, man.
Wonder if it's something like, what was it? Shards, the shards of Alara, sort of thing, where these are the different shards. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go.
I'll say I don't think that's what any of that means.
So I just got back. Did you guys talk about Elephant Lady yet?
I'm sorry, what?
Sabira?
What color?
Red.
Red. I know what you're talking about. We haven't talked about her yet.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sabira. Cost 2 and a red.
Tulzidi Caravaner.
What he said. Cost 2 and a red for a 2/3 legendary human shaman. She's rare, not mythic. She has haste. Pay 1. Another target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. That is going to set up all sorts of stuff. 1 and a red, and tap and discard your hand. Until end of turn, whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Huh, neat.
Like the haste. Gotta get these spices to market.
Elephant's coming through.
Oh,
I
there's
like
an elephant in the background. I was trying to figure out why in God's name you called her Elephant Lady. I'm like, she's very human.
So did you guys read the description stuff on her?
The
I
what?
haven't gone back to that yet.
No.
Like there was a thing, story on the cards, the
Okay.
lore of the set.
Oh no, I think I had that open in a tab somewhere and then closed it because I realized I was never actually going to read it because I haven't read the last 2 or 3 sets worth.
I have read some of them. I have not read this one's.
Yeah, she's mentioned in it.
I just like. Sorry, go ahead.
She's the wife of Teferi.
Really?
Oh,
Ah.
Led the Tolzeti caravan across Jamara, although the caravan has existed in some form or another for centuries, surviving the Mirage War, the Phyrexian invasion, and time rifts. It has never been as successful as it was under Sabira's guidance.
I just like how, as far as the card, I like how it kind of promotes an unusual tribal theme in that it's not, once again, kind of like the hooded snake thing. It's not about the creature type itself, but more about, hey, play small dudes. And if you're in red blue, maybe some of those small creatures may also have saboteur effects where when they hit an opponent, you draw a card just from their effect plus hers. Or maybe you bounce something like Ninja of the Deep Hours. But even staying in red, I'm sure there's plenty of good options as well. So,
Hey, Dirk, drop a link to that in our Discord chat, would you?
No problem. Boop.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Because it has Karavek also in there. Although he's had, I think we've talked about his history at some point.
maybe.
Where in the there she is. Wife of Teferi. Huh. Someone actually married Teferi's difficult ass? That's amazing.
she's clearly a control player.
Clearly. All right, let me move that one over here. I just looked. I still have the Theros one and the Ikoria one both open, so why not? I'll open up the Corset one too for me to never read.
Here's another neat design in red. Traitorous Greed is an uncommon sorcery. It costs 3 and a red. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Add 2 mana of any one color.
Oh, so you can use abilities for it, or
Yeah. It either gives you a small rebate that you can use for other stuff, or it helps you activate the cool abilities of the creature you stole.
that's actually really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about the Terror of the Peaks?
I don't think so.
I just saw the art and went, what? Like, that's a badass dragon. Okay, what's it do? For 3 red, it's a 5/4 dragon. It's mythic. Flying. 5/4 flying dragon for 5. Okay. Remember, Baneslayer has protection from this. Spells your opponents cast the target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life. Huh. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Oh, so it's a, not Pandemonium, the other one.
Oh, dang it.
But yeah, that
War
one.
Storm Surge?
That's the one, I think. So that's really cool.
Okay. So the Terror of the Peak steals the damage, not the creature. I didn't notice that first.
Yeah, because he's terrible. Oh. Someone said transmogrify is cool, and I can't spell. What does transmogrify do?
It's right below Terror of the Peaks. It's also a sorcery that costs 3 and a red. This one's a rare. Exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. That player puts that card on the battlefield, then shuffles the rest into their library. So it's a polymorph in the color that this effect has been moved to.
I like it.
Of course you do.
I didn't say that was a surprise.
Alright, is there anything in green we need to talk about? Like, we already talked about the Elder Gargaroth and the Feline Sovereign and Bronto-Dave. Like, what else could possibly matter?
So in the variants, you gotta explain this to me.
What color?
Green. Why is Cultivate a rare in the variants?
Because all of those cards with this treatment are rare.
Okay.
So it just is.
That threw me off because I was in the variants and I saw Cultivate before I saw it here. And I'm like, oh, Cultivate's back. Oh, we got a rarity change. It's... What? So, okay.
Yeah. I saw someone answer that on Twitter, and I'm scrolling through it now, and all of the ones that are the borderless look like that I've seen thus far are indeed rare. So I'm guessing because they're all rare, they're just on the rare sheet.
Okay, I get that because, like, I know that, like, when stuff isn't a commander product, it partially depends on... It's not necessarily a common or uncommon, it just depends on how frequently it shows up in the decks. So I get that. I was just kind of surprised. So I'm kind of glad that it's not like a rare in M21. Like,
yeah, it's what, uncommon? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Better now.
Oh, and Colossal Dreadmaw got reprinted again.
But no giant spider.
Yep. Okay, here's the thing I haven't seen. Garrick's Harbinger. Not Harbinger. Not Harbringer. Harbinger. That wasn't just for Brian. That was for anybody. I'm looking at the camera as if I have a face cam. For 1 green is a 4/3 beast that's rare. Pro black. No, hexproof from black. Excuse me. That's different. Whenever Garrick's Harbinger deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature card or Garrick Planeswalker card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. And this is in the set. This isn't like a Planeswalker deck card.
Huh.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like it, but that's weird.
I
Yeah.
would have kind of expected it to be like one of those weird Planeswalker enabler cards in a Planeswalker deck.
Yeah. Yeah, when I got to that part, I went, oh crap, I'm reading the wrong card. But no, it's actually in the set. Look, it's got 185 out of 274. Neat.
That's really cool.
Oh my god, there's an ornery Dilophosaur.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it has Death Touch. Oh my god. It... Wow. Okay. I'm sorry, like, Jurassic Park was a long time ago, and that's the only time that literally anyone has ever cared about the Dilophosaur.
Right.
And Jurassic Park didn't even get it right. It was just neat. Let's see.
Did you look at you'd mentioned the two spiders earlier. Did you read the second one?
No, I didn't read any of them because they're spiders. Where the hell are they? They're down in S, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the Spore Web Weaver is the rare one. For 2 and a green, it's a 1/4 that has reach, hexproof from blue, and whenever Spore Web Weaver is dealt damage, you gain 1 life and create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah, I like that.
At least it doesn't spit out baby spiders, or I'd have to, set it on fire.
Well, at least it does one thing for you. It doesn't make baby spiders, it just makes baby sapperlings.
Yeah. And sapperlings have always been awful, so... Truffle Snout! Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, how about multicolor? Anything good here?
Looking at it, I think the Indulging Patrician is
Mhm.
kind of an interesting card.
Brian, fix your headset.
How about now?
There we
How about
go.
There
Okay.
you go.
So, yeah. All right. So, for 1 and a white and a black, the Indulging Patrician is a 1/4 Vampire Noble. It's uncommon. It has flying and lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. So if you have some way to gain life, you don't even necessarily need to swing with this, although, why not? But you can ping all of your opponents for 3 each turn. That's
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's a sizable chunk right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These build around me 2-color uncommons are all pretty good, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's Experimental Overload do? I actually haven't read this card, but it's got a lot of words. So somebody else do it.
It's awesome. Experimental Overload costs 2 a blue and a red for an uncommon sorcery. You create an XX blue and red weird creature token, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Then you can return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, and you exile Experimental Overload.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The exile, of course, is so you can't just keep looping 2 Experimental Overloads.
That seems like it might be a problem, yeah.
Yeah.
So who's Niambi?
Niambi is Teferi's daughter.
Really? What was that? Al resubbed. for 34 months. And I got an emote. Yay! I got half of a pair. Okay, anyway. So Niambi, esteemed speaker. For a white and a blue, she's a 2/1 legendary human cleric. With flash. Huh. When Niambi, esteemed speaker, enters the battlefield, you may return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, gain life equal to that creature's converted mana cost.
Oh, you mentioned flash.
Yeah.
Read it.
And then for 1, a blue and a white, and tap and discard a legendary card. Draw 2 cards. Huh. Neat. And then something else happened over here. Pinball Witch threw another 300 bits. It said more emotes, and I got another emote. I got a Pride Toucan.
And I got another emote.
Of course you did. But yeah, Niambi is... Huh.
There's a couple things.
It's all very... I don't know. It's very strange. Like, bounce one of your own things, gain some life, discard something legendary, draw some cards.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So who else we... Oh, we got Rada.
Yeah. I like me some Rada. I think I preferred her original incarnation, but this one's pretty good. So, for 1, a red and a green, she is a legendary elf warrior. 3/3 for 3 mana, not bad. As long as it's your turn, she has first strike, so, roar, attack. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play lands from the top of your library. Fits for, the 2 colors that get the most out of acceleration. And for 4, a red and a green, she gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of lands you control. So, kind of an interesting thing she's got going on here. Previously, she was not really land-centric, but she was all about attacking. She was the one that whenever you attack with a creature, you get a red and or green mana for each creature that's attacking. So still very much a mana producing thing, but definitely one that encouraged you to attack. This is more of
what did her last one do?
Her last, I was just looking that up. Her last one in Dominaria was Grand Warlord Rada. For 4 mana, she was 3/4 with haste. And whenever one or more creatures you control attack, add that much mana in any combination of red or green, and it stays in your pool until the end of the turn.
Nice.
Yes.
So she's been about mana, because her first one, could tap for green, or when she attacked, you got 2 red. This is just about being about mana in a different way.
Yeah. I like it. Rada's awesome.
Yeah.
Like the character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's been through a lot, but...
Is there anything in Artifact?
We did not talk about the orrery last time.
We did not. No. What's it do?
So, the Chromatic Orrery for 7 mana is a legendary artifact. It is mythic for a very good reason. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Doesn't matter about if we're talking about for spells, for abilities, whatever. Tap, add 5 colorless mana, which again can spend as those mana of any color. Pay 5 and tap this. Draw a card for each color among permanents you control. So, in case you don't get it, play as many colors as you want. And the more colors you play, the more you get out of that second ability.
That's pretty neat.
Visitors marvel at its design, unaware of the other world that inspired it. What was the original orrery? The Vidalcan orrery?
Yes, Vidalcan Orrery.
So they're kind of now you have people that are hanging out on Caldesh or some other plane, and they're like, "This is nifty," and I'm assuming that the planeswalker that made this was like, "Yes, it is nifty. This is my own original design. Didn't get this from anywhere else."
Well, apparently there was also a Girapur orrery in Kaladesh.
Oh, was there?
Right.
Ah, I forgot about that one.
Had to do with playing land and drawing cards.
Short sword.
Yep.
It's just a short sword.
Yep.
Okay.
Chilling.
It's actually a leaning scimitar, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this a reprint or is this a new one?
I don't know. The art looks like it's from Benalia, but I don't know if that card was from Dominaria. Let's check Gatherer yet again.
Good job. But yeah, for one, it's an equipment. Equip creature gets +1/+1 and equips for 1. It's a leaning scimitar. One of the original artifacts. Or
Yeah.
equipments, rather.
Equipment.
Yeah, it was printed in Dominaria.
That makes sense. That would be why it does look like. Does it have the same art?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. What about Silent Dart?
That's also a reprint, I think, from a Ravnica set.
Huh.
I think.
Not Kamigawa?
It amazes me how much of these I don't pay attention to. It's not a Kamigawa card, no. It would have to be newer for me to not recognize it at all, and I don't.
Yeah, it was an uncommon in Guilds of Ravnica.
Ah, okay.
So very recent. Well, quote unquote, very.
Yeah.
Did we talk about? I feel like we talked about the Spark Hunter Mastercore, right? I feel like we did.
I think so.
I don't
Did we?
know. I don't know.
We'll do it again just in case, because it's ridiculous.
All right. So, Spark Hunter Mastercore for 3 mana. Mastercores as a tribe tend to be undercosted for their stats, but have some sort of drawback. And then continue to do ridiculous stuff. So, for 3 mana, it's a 3/4. Right off the bat, you're like, okay. It's a rare artifact creature Mastercore. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card. So, there you go. Protection from Planeswalkers. Yeah. For 1 mana, it deals 1 damage to target Planeswalker. So if you couldn't get through for some reason, that does say 1 mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does. That's just ridiculous. And then for 3 mana, it gains indestructible until end of turn. So feels like this is a safety valve card where they're like, you know what? In case we print good Planeswalkers ever again, let's just make sure they're not too good. This card is bananas. With all the B's and the A's.
Nanners.
I think so. I have a hard time. This is not even a joke. I have a hard time spelling out loud. I was an English major. I write. I cannot spell out loud. Don't ask me, hey, how do you spell Mastercore? Because I'll be like, can I write it down? No. Well, then, no, you're not.
Can a brother get a pen?
Yes. Can a brother get a pen? Do you guys see Animal Sanctuary?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Look, it's adorable.
Go ahead. What's it do?
It makes me throw up.
Hey,
It's
Dirk,
so
what's it do?
cute. Yeah,
Oh.
Dirk, what's it do?
Which one is it again?
Animal Sanctuary and lands.
All right, so for sorry, it's a rare land. Tap, add, is it colorless mana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm about to say
The waste.
the symbol is always goofs me up. All right, so for 2 and tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target bird, cat, dog, goat, ox, or snake. And it says, is the flavor text, no owners allowed.
I don't think I saw the flavor text. That's great.
That's adorable. Let's see.
You just like the kittens.
I do actually. That is, and the nice fuzzy oxen.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. I love all the shout outs to all these tribes that don't always get a whole lot of love. They're like, if it can be an animal, but does not fall under the blanket beast. Side note, sometimes I just don't like beasts just because it feels like it's too much of a catch-all. But,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know, if it can be a wild animal, then we're gonna pump it here because animal sanctuary. I like it.
And then we've got the enemy-colored temples. The when they enter the battlefield, scry.
Yep.
Always awesome.
Always, yeah. And it looks like we've got all 10 of the common lands that are dual-colored, enter-tapped, and you gain a life.
Right.
Awesome.
Also awesome, yeah. And what was it? Radiant Fountain. Sure. See? No awesome from Mike, so it's just fine. Whatever.
It has an unfortunate association with horrible blue-white control decks from back in the day. So, yeah, no awesome for me on that one.
Neat. There's good stuff in here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We didn't talk about the one that Dirk pointed out at the very beginning before we started the show.
Which one was that?
The Avon Gaggle Master.
I must have missed that. Avon Gaggle Master.
Yeah.
That's a word? It is. What?
Well, what's it do?
The Avon Gaggle Master, for 3 and 2 white, he's a 4/3 bird warrior that's uncommon, has flying. When Avon Gaggle Master enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each creature you control with flying. The reason why I brought him up and everything is that it looks like, like a flying soldier and everything. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you look at his head and you go, what?
So most of the time when you see an Avon, it's like a hawk head or something. This is a goose. Maybe like a swan, maybe. But I'm saying goose.
It's a goose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping.
So now you know it's ready to fight.
Yeah. I'm also hoping that it's kind of an asshole.
Have you ever known a goose that isn't? I mean,
accurate, but also because of the game that is untitled with the goose. I hope that the Gaggle Master just walks up behind your opponent and honks and makes them discard a card at some point. Just
Wasn't in Top Gun, wasn't that Maverick's buddy?
yeah. Talk to me, Goose.
Yep, you're right.
Oh, Goose died. Spoilers for a very old movie.
If you haven't seen that movie, then
Then you don't care.
I say you're a little late on that one.
There was also a character named Goose in Captain Marvel that I thought was probably a reference to Top Gun. Was my guess.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Based on when that part of the story took place, almost certainly.
And it was a cat at an Air Force. Well, not an Air Force base, but what's essentially an Air Force base. So, yeah. You don't think they thought of that? Yeah.
Calling a cat Goose.
Sam liked Goose.
Goose was pretty awesome.
Yep. So that's M21.
Yeah, I guess that's probably good enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because it's late, and I'm sure Dirk is about to turn into a pumpkin.
That's me turning into a pumpkin.
I was going to say, that was a very good turning into a pumpkin sound. I've heard it once before in my life, now twice.
You lead a very interesting life, I gotta say.
I keep finding pumpkins in Shadowgate, and I don't know why. I think I have 4 pumpkins. And I'm like, okay.
Is this not something you do usually find?
Not in Shadowgate? It's just... And one of them is a place I'd already been once. And, like, I just picked up the bucket. I'm like, oh, a bucket, I might need that. And I took it. But the second time I played through that part, I opened the bucket. And it said, oh, look, a pumpkin. And I'm like, what? And I just have pumpkins in my inventory. And I just look at them occasionally. And I'm like, hello, pumpkin. It's a very strange game.
I have absolutely nothing to say about that whatsoever. I just got
Pumpkin.
nothing.
All right, well, for my final thought before I head out, yesterday we were offered to volunteer to do a drive-through graduation. We've been doing it for it's been going on this whole week, where seniors can drive up and, like, with family, and they can actually do the pictures where the principal has their diploma cover. They can shake the hand of the principal, their name gets called, and they can get to take pictures and everything. Essentially, it's just a big photo op. And I participated in it yesterday, and Chewy had mentioned that he went out for a walk and got a little sun, even though it was overcast. I got home, and I looked in the mirror and was like, oh my gosh, I'm not burned, but my face and my neck are a very noticeably different color than the rest of my body. So I got some sun yesterday, but the main reason why I bring this up is there are times when you look at what you do and you really, really miss that time. I mostly did it for selfish reasons, because I really wanted to see some of my seniors before, they're off and gone, and I probably will never see them again. I wanted at least to see some of them before, and we were able to work out the logistics for me to do one day of it. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. I was beat tired, and apparently beat red as well. But I was very, very tired yesterday after doing it. But also, to go with the selfish reasons, is I wanted to be able to talk to people. Getting to go out and actually talk to my coworkers and sort of check in with them and talk to them and everything. It was very nice getting to do so. I miss doing stuff like that. I miss going to work.
Yeah, we were talking before the show, and I was like, I've never had that experience in my life.
Yeah, there's been some... I can't say that I've had numerous jobs, but the jobs I've had, and even in the different schools I've taught in, there have been times where I thought I would have a very different discussion right now with some schools that I've been at, where it was, oh, thank goodness, I hope we never have to go back. I could do distance learning all day, sort of thing. But where I am right now, I'm very happy. I feel like that. I told Chelsea that we're trying to get into the county my kids go to school in, so that way we're on the same schedule. And I told her I didn't want to do it this year, because I still feel like where I am, I can see where I'm short in terms of my experience and my my learning, my skills. And so another year will give me a chance to continue to grow and become better. And so I'm really I told her I'm really do not want to try and transfer this year. In addition to, with everything that's going on, I really don't feel comfortable transferring counties in the middle of all of this that's going on. Mostly because I could easily see in the middle of it, all right, I've put in my notice, I'm getting ready to start this job, and then before I can sign the papers, oh yeah, we had a restructure and your job's gone. I totally see that happening. So yeah, I'm not going to give up my job. I know I have a spot next year, so
Good
like
call.
no, I'm not going to burn any bridges. I'm not going to that any greener pasture right now. So, but that's my final thought, guys.
Awesome.
And with that, I am going to go ahead and sign out because, as Chewy said, I am tired and I have been getting up early and going for walks. So I'm going
Good for
to
you.
do that. So yeah, I've kind of figured out the reason why I've been having like breathing issues is I've gained some weight and it's caused some sleep apnea to go on. And so
Oh.
I've lost 5 pounds since I started doing all this. Um, I think Wednesday, no, Tuesday, whatever day I started doing, I've lost some weight, and I actually I can feel a little bit better in terms of my breathing. So
Easy shorthand way to remember. It's always Tuesday. Every day is Tuesday. Merry Tuesday, everybody.
yeah, I'll have to change the reminder on my phone then, so that way I know which day it is.
Well, no, now you just know it's always Tuesday. Like, hey, what day is it? It's Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Well, I will talk to everybody later.
Night, Zerk.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
So, what you got on this fine Tuesday night, there, B?
I'm tired. Thank you to everyone that sent me condolences for my grandmother. I appreciate that. She lived a very long, full life. Very, very, very long, very full life. What I did not mention was that for 1 week, about 1 week before she died, she became a great, great, great grandmother. 6 generations.
Holy crap.
Just barely. So, but yeah. So I appreciate everyone sending me that. It was very nice to hear. Other than that, we were going to, I mentioned this last week, we were going to have court this week, and court was canceled because the courthouse, some of the employees tested positive. My test came back negative, which is good to know. I am not showing any symptoms or anything, but I wanted to, do the right thing. So everything's going just fine with me, but I am tired. I've been up since too early this morning because the dogs decided to get up early. So I am going to head out as well. Sorry I'm not a little more active, but yay, previews. And there's some interesting stuff in Jumpstart I do want to talk about next week, depending on how much we decide to hit this up. But like the cycle of lands, I think is really cool, for example. So yeah, hope everybody else is doing well, and I will talk to you guys later when I'm not falling asleep.
All right. Well, have a good night, B.
You too.
Mike?
For me,
Mike's birthday was yesterday!
yeah, it was. It was good. It's a nice day.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't really
How old
got
are you now?
anything else to say. I'm 36 years old.
Oh, you're just a baby. Hey, Pinball Witch threw 300 more bits. A happy belated birthday, Mike.
Guess what I got?
I was gonna say, which emote did you get this time, you jackwagon? That's why see, Twitch knows that it was your birthday. That's what it is.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it is.
Terrible.
Wouldn't be surprised if they have a little something in the background that pokes at the percentages if it was your birthday.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all. That Twitch knows when your birthday was.
I don't know. I can't remember what I used to sign into it or register with it, so who knows. No, I don't think I have anything else intelligent to say today.
Fair enough. I usually don't. Hey, in other news, apparently while we've been doing the show, AMC Theater CEO says their cinemas won't require masks upon reopening because they didn't, quote, want to be drawn into a political controversy, end quote.
Oh boy. That says a lot, doesn't it?
Never going to a movie theater ever again. Forever, never, amen. Lord. So, hey, here's the thing that's happened. Over the last week, I've lost 2 or 3, I forget, of either the top tier or next tier down patrons. But there was no exit survey listed for them. So I'm wondering if us saying, hey, by the way, Black Lives Matter and trans rights are human rights, I wonder if that pissed people off, or if they just didn't bother to do an exit survey and had some sort of financial issues like so many people are during the plague times.
Mm-hmm.
This is why...
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What? No one's talking to you, robot lady? You scared the hell out of me. Oh my god.
Or maybe with everything going on, they haven't played Magic in a while and they don't see themselves getting back into it.
That could be, but that's why the exit surveys are important.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I wonder, like, if you don't fill one out, I wonder, like, are you broke? Are you okay? Do you hate me? Like, what's going on? Because if you hate me, good. But, like, if it's just I lost interest or I can't afford it or whatever, then, you know, I'm so sorry. I hope things get better for you. But, like, I want to send them a message and be like, hey, I hope everything's okay. Because that's usually what I do when someone stops being a patron. But I also don't want to, like, piss them off further by poking them, you know, if they hate me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll just give them my usual, hey, I hope everything's okay with you thing. I don't know. That's just the thing that's been on my mind for the last couple days, and I've been going, I don't know how to, or if I should,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Ouch. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that. Like, to be fair, I don't mind at all if anyone needs to stop being a patron for any reason. Like, I got a message a couple days ago that said, dude, I don't believe this. I got fired. My entire department or division or whatever is just liquidated. We didn't even see it coming. And my first response was, holy crap, I'm so sorry, that sucks. And my second response was, your Patreon payment better disappear. Like, because, like, as much as I need the Patreon payments to pay the rent, I know that all my patrons need their money to pay their rent. So, like, it's never any hard feelings at all. Ever. But if it's because I said that, you know, human rights are a thing, well then, piss off. You know, it's one or the other, usually, so... So, I don't know. But anyway, this is just crap that should probably not be on the podcast. It should be in the odds and ends, but whatever. It's late, and I've had a headache for, oh god, over 12 hours now. That's nice. So yeah, we're gonna be done. So hey, speaking of the patrons, if you want, by the way, to help support what I do, because hey, did you know that there's a YouTube video that goes up every day, and there's streams throughout the week? Let's see what's going up on YouTube right now. Shadowgate, the 2014 remake, and Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Yay! Are the two things that are going up currently. I'm gonna have to do some Hearthstone because the new adventure dropped, or the first week of it or something. I don't know if it was the whole thing or not, because honestly I haven't looked yet, because that was just today, I think, right? Yesterday? Something like that. But, oh, it's the whole thing? Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, that'll probably be a thing that goes up soon on the YouTube channel once I stream it, because the stream right here on twitch.tv/themanapool. And yeah, we've got the podcasts, we've got all the Twitch streams, we've got all of the stuff. On Saturdays, we do watch parties. If you have Amazon Prime, and it doesn't matter if you're in the US anymore, I got that email today. So if you have Amazon Prime, and whatever that we're watching any given week is available on your Amazon Prime Video, then you could join the watch party. So this week, apologies to those of you that are listening to the audio version of this, but hey, those of you live, this week it's going to be the original Peter Sellers starring version of the Pink Panther and Knives Out, Ryan Johnson's most recent movie, because it's on Prime now and I've never seen it and I want to see it, so that's an excuse to watch it. So yeah, that's awesome, and that is that's what we're doing this week. Next week, it'll be something else, but I don't know what yet. So, hey, those of you that have Amazon Prime, whether you're in the States or not, you can come to Twitch and watch it with us. We do it on Saturday nights, usually starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and usually we watch like 3 or 4 hours worth of stuff. Here lately, it's been 2 movies. Like last week, we did 2 documentaries. The week before that was... They all run together. They really do. At one point, we watched The Disaster Artist and something else. I don't know. My brain has turned to mush because, like I said, I've had a headache for 12 hours. But anyway, so yeah, come hang out Saturday nights. We watch stuff. It's a lot of fun, and it's great. Yay! And now you can watch regardless of where you are, which is even better. I've been waiting for that and waiting for that and waiting for that. And they finally dropped it today after, I don't know, what's it been, 3 months since they first started the watch party thing? They're like, we're going to do it soon. And I'm like, hurry up. And finally. Because even people in Canada can't watch with us because they're not in the States. And that's stupid. At the moment, though, it only works on a computer. Like, you can't, I don't think, watch it on like your tablet or your phone with us. You've got to be on the computer. But you can still watch the stream and have it playing somewhere else as long as you start it at the same time I do. And I'm always very like, all right, here we go. We're going to start. And there's a countdown. Okay. So, yeah. I know some people have done that when they couldn't get the Prime watch party thing to work. Anyway, right. Let's tell you about the nice patron people, though. So here we go. I would like to thank our mythic lifeguards: Jason Doan, Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious, Team Hellas Haru, Connor Kennedy. I was gonna sneeze. Oh god, I hope I don't. John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Scuzzo, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Casey, Danny Liao, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, John Parker, Aleph Cat, who is the proponent of the It's Always Tuesday philosophy, by the way. Some guy named Michael? Weird. Backwards Logic, ALK Alters, and the Beastfather, Aaron Goodwine. So thank you all so very much for your support. And to all of the lifeguards at every tier, because, as I keep saying, I quite literally could not do this without you. Yay. So with that, yeah, with that, we'll be done with episode 593. So, yeah. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and go play some Magic.